Hello there, welcome back to the channel. This will be a little bit of a different video, however I found this topic quite interesting, so I hope some of you out there do too. Without further delay, let's get into the video. I was reading the prequels edition of the Star Wars Archives by Paul Duncan, specifically the Revenge of the Sith section where the design of General Grievous is being discussed. Originally, the opening scene of the movie was going to feature Clone Wars sequences on 7 different planets and then finish with the battle over Coruscant. However, in October of 2002, George Lucas changed his mind and started with the Chancellor's rescue, but he needed a bad guy, seen as Count Dooku was killed by Anakin at the conclusion of this sequence. A month later, Lucas told the art department that he was after a droid general as the Separatist leader. The animation director Rob Coleman tells how General Grievous was originally going to be this super ruthless vampire, before becoming a sniveling, horrible, creepy little sycophant and ending up somewhere in between. Lucas wanted someone reminiscent of Darth Vader, but not actually him. He was after an alien that had been reconstructed into a robot. George didn't want him to be a human, however he was after that iconic evil villain type. Warren Fu was part of the design team, and seeing as Vader is all black, he went with a pure white for Grievous. His inspiration for this was the colour meaning death in Chinese culture. There were 2 designs in the running to be the general, and George happened to be fans of both of them. Unable to choose between the 2, he created Grievous's special bodyguards, aka the Magna Guard, to take on one of the designs, whilst the other became Grievous himself. These Magna Guards provided George with another challenge of being able to put up a fight against Obi-Wan, seeing as a laser sword can cut through anything and do anything, in his own words. This is how their electric staffs were born. These designs of Grievous took on multiple forms before the final one was decided, with a sketch of him even featuring a gun attachment on an arm. Speaking to Paul Duncan, George tells how Grievous is the direct opposite to Vader. Vader was mostly human and part robot, whereas the General was mostly robot with a human interior. George called him the gut sack. Grievous was given a cough as it echoed Vader's breathing and would foreshadow what was to come for Anakin. The other inspiration for Grievous was George wanting the idea of humans and robots to not be so separated. Vader being the key character is obviously a combination of the 2, but now there is the idea with Grievous's introduction that there may be more like him. Grievous's voice began with alterations of Vader's breathing and other sounds associated with him. However, as stated before, George didn't want him to be confused with Vader, so that concept was dropped. Supervising sound editor Matthew Wood tried out for the part anonymously and won the role. He would continue to lend his voice to Grievous in the Clone Wars animated series, as well as many other smaller roles. Nick Gillard, who was the stunt coordinator for the prequels and did a remarkable job, tells how originally Grievous also had an electrified power staff. George then decided that he would have the 4 arms with a lightsaber in each hand. This was difficult to edit seamlessly, so they had one stuntman learn the upper arm movements and another learn the lower arm movements. This is also the reason why 2 of Grievous's arms disappear very quickly at the beginning of his fight with Kenobi on Utapau. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe even learned something new. I also hope you guys had a great New Year's, and I can't wait to enjoy Star Wars in 2024 with you. If you're new to the channel and enjoyed this video, I'd highly recommend checking out the rest of my channel. Until next time, may the Force be with you, always.